Hey everyone, welcome to IG8Live Esports. Today we're on with PGL F1 Sunday League for round 5 of 23 for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we got quite a full grid today and a few new names as well on track. We'll have a look at that in just a bit. And I think we have a few drivers already starting to get out on track for the outlaps. Conditions looks to be dry, at least for qualifying. I'm not sure what the situation is going to be for the race. But I think we'll get some information more on that a little later on in the session as we go on. So anyway, let's just get a few details up on screen before we continue on here. Okay, so let's see what the grid currently looks like. So quite a few more cars getting out on track right now. Just having a look. How many cars currently getting out? iStream, as usual, always number one to get out on track on the very start of qualifying. And by the way, guys, it is, as usual, a short qualifying session of 18 minutes, and then we're going to get straight into our 50% race. So let's see. Oh, and we got a one driver already out of this session, apparently. Alright, so let's see what our grid looked like. So we got Scotty Run and we got Alex, that's a new name for me. We got Johnny Stokes, I got Ice Stream, Codfish, another new name for me here. Fat Mamba there, Scooby, Dan Murphy. I feel like I've heard that name before. Mikey, we got Wills, Lilati, Walker, Maddie, Mr. Rage, Dean, Moldy Goat, another new one. Clarky, we got Vintage, Wooly, and Templier, which is another. So just a few new names on the track, at least for today, but good to still see a full grid for the session, because I think we had probably about 12 or 13 drivers checked in, and then got a few more at the end before we get started with this session. So that's pretty good to see happening. I see quite a few more cars getting out on track right now, so should become a very busy track very quickly, especially with usually with 20 cars on the in the session for a short qualifying session. It's always going to be quite busy in terms of that qualifying session on track, because everyone is going to be in a bit of a hurry to get out on track and try to get their lap times in, and just to get a feel for the track as well. They might want to try it on the mediums and then probably try to see what sort of time they can do on the soft tires, depending on what strategy they're planning to run in the race. I think we have a few drivers already starting their hot lap, so let's have a look here and see what's happening so far. I wonder if Dean is on a hot lap here as well. Seems like he might be. Yeah, definitely seems to be so. Yeah, Barcelona here, it's a pretty fast track, so I think we should have quite an interesting race. A little bit of a run going down into turn 1 and turn 2 as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works out when we get to the race start in another 14 minutes time or so. So we're going to see if we're going to be having any sort of safety car or VSC on the race start or not. I'm not sure as yet. It all depends on how well qualifying is going to go here and how competitive our lap times are going to be for drivers in the session. So far we got a few times in. We got Alex currently 117.4 in P2, Ice Stream with a 117.089 and currently holds on to provisional pole there. And Scotty P3 118.5. Hotfish 119, then we got so 125, 132, not too good of time. So I think they're just kind of getting a feel for the track at the moment, and we should start to see some faster time in here pretty soon. We're following on with Lil Letty right now, who's invalidated his lap, so he's gonna have to try that again. He does have enough time to get it done, which is why drivers tend to get out on track so early during a short qualifying session, especially with a busy track as this is going to be here right now. And they're going to want to try to get all the mistakes out of the way and try to get a good lap time in as early as possible, and then try to improve upon that as much as they can. So we're still following, now we're following on with Clarky here, and he's currently in Sector 3, about to finish his lap. And let's see what sort of time he's going to get and where he's going on the board. Just a few times in so far, so hopefully he gets a good time in here. And goes on provisional pole currently with a 115.2. Mikey there just went second now with a 116.8, so not too bad with the time so far, but we're kind of a little bit spaced out right now with everyone just getting their first lap times in. I think at least by the second set of lap times coming in, we should have some more competitive times much closer off to each other, maybe a tenth or two off or a few hundred of a second off. We'll see how that works out. So let's see who else currently still running a lap there. Wooly went 117.1, not too bad. So we're starting to get a bit competitive already in terms of lap times in here. Looks like Wills is getting back into the pits. He did invalidate his current lap, and I think Lilith might be on the next lap going through. Let's see how he finishes lap. I think he has to go on the next one because I think I know he invalidated the previous lap. So we'll keep an eye and see how that works out for him because I think he has to probably start another lap here. He might be starting an actual hot lap here right now, so let's see how he goes. So that lap was a lap as well, 117.1. Not too bad for that actually, but I think he might want to try and do a little bit better than that, which I think is what he's trying to do here right now. Just gonna probably keep on the overhead cam with him at least for now, and let's see if he's gonna improve upon that 117, maybe get into a 116. Seems to be a 115 might be the place to be right now if you're looking for a start somewhere around the front of the grid, because with Clarky in that 115, he's looking pretty good so far. So at least 10 drivers with lap times in, and we're about just going down to about halfway down in the session so far. So not too bad so far. We still got half of the grid yet to get their lap times in. I think that's Lilith giving up on that lap there. He's I think he's quite happy with what he did so far. He might get back into the pits and maybe do a change of tires and get back out again. We'll see how that works out for him, but let's see. Mr. Rage on a lap here right now. And he's about to go into Sector 2, so let's see how that works. And that was a purple Sector 1, so he seems to be on for a pretty good lap and might actually finish and get maybe at least a top 5 position here for now at least. With lap times not being too competitive for the second half of the grid, but at least for our top 5, I think it seems to be pretty good so far. And Willie out of the session as well, so it's 117.1. We'll have to keep for the rest of the qualifying, and hopefully that gets him a good start. Might push him down quite a bit more because we still got quite a few drivers yet to get their time in here. And remember, it is just a short qualifying session, guys, so just under 10 minutes now, and still 10 more cars yet to put lap times in, so they're going to have to get a rush on that. Because we're going to run out of time here pretty soon, and they got to just account for invalidating laps, so they're going to have to just get a hurry on that. And I think quite a few of them are already on their hot laps there right now, so we'll have a look at that as they continue. So Mr. Rage goes P2 right now, 116.1, not too bad of a time, about 7 tenths faster than what Mikey did, so he just did a pretty good lap. That's going to hold him here, at least for now. Got a few drivers still in the pits right now. Got Moldy Goat, I know Walker's in the pits, Scooby, Johnny Stokes still in the pits as well. They'll probably be getting out pretty soon. Maybe they're just waiting for the last 6 or 7 minutes to get out and try and make their lap times. Then we'll see how that works out. Alright, so let's see what I missed in the last minute or two that just went off. So Clarky still holds on to P1 right now at a 115.2. His team indeed now with a 115.3, so they're not doing too bad so far. Alex Tater down there in P3 right now. Mr. Rates still on P4 with his 116.1. Maddie with 116.4. Flat number to 116.489, just about 700 of a second slower. So now we're starting to see some really competitive times as we're gotten down to about with just 25% of the session remaining at least right now. Mikey 116.8, and then we're going into the 117s from P8 here with a 117.089. Ice Stream still holds on to that time. I think he's definitely gonna have to try and improve upon that as he continue on here a little bit. He's still in the 117.1 right now, but he's trying to improve upon that at the moment here. I think he's on the next hot lap. Yep, definitely is. That is a run down to turn 1, which is always quite interesting as we go through here, turn 1 and 2, because there's not a lot of room for a lot of cars to go through at the same time. And I think he just messed that up just a little bit there. We got Vintage running here right now. He's 11 currently, 117.9. Codfish currently holds on to P12 with a 118, and Scotty with a 118.5, which definitely he's going to want to try and improve upon that. Johnny Stokes currently not a time as yet. Let's see where he is at the moment here. I think he's trying to run and make a time there right now. Where is Walker on track at the moment? He just did a purple sector 2, and will be finishing off his sector 3 very soon. Hopefully he can get placed in somewhere in the top 5 at least. It's kind of where we're used to seeing him. So let's see where he goes as he finishes off this lap here right now. And I think this is going to be his first lap time in, and yes it is. And still a few more drivers behind him to make some lap times in here, and he goes P2 with that, a 115.360, 4,000th of a second faster than what Dean just did. And I think that's actually pretty competitive out front there right now. So splitting the Reynolds out front, and let's see if that time is going to hold going down to the end of the session here, because I'm quite sure Dean is he's already on another outlap actually, and they're going to try and improve his time from his 115.364. So far so good. We got 10th out of the session. He has not been able to make a lap time in, so unfortunate for him. He might be starting at the back, but of course we got Dan Murphy there, did not make a lap time as well. So between the two of them, I think both of them will have to start down at the back of the grid. 19 and 20th, I'm not sure who's going to be in which position. We'll see about that when we do get to that point. Let's get back on track and see who else currently is still running here right now, a lap. So we still got Scooby, we got Wills, and Moldy Goat are still yet to make a lap time in the session. I haven't seen them. I'm not sure if Moldy Goat has gotten out of the pits since qualifying started. We got just under 5 minutes left with that session there right now, so we're waiting to see how that's going to work out for them. Still a few more drivers I think are trying to improve upon their time. They might be getting back out on track before the end of the session. We'll see how that works out for them. Let's go a little bit down here and see what's happening with the rest of our drivers. Currently, Lil team doesn't seem to have improved this time so far here. Alright, so we got Wills on an outlap again here right now. So he's trying again to at least get a lap time in before this session comes to a close, which he might want to get a rush on that, because just about 4 minutes left here right now. That's going to give him maybe about 2 straight laps to do our hot laps here, and have to do it on this same set of tires, which is unfortunate unless he can actually get a really good lap time in on one go. We'll see how that works out for him. So still on his outlap currently and going, and Dean just went fastest with a 115.1, just went 110 faster than what his teammate did, and that pushes his teammate down to second and Walker down to a possible third place start for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we're gonna see if those times are actually gonna hold, because I think Walker has enough time to actually get back out to the pits and try for even a faster lap if he wants to, or I'm not sure if he's gonna just hold on to that start there for P3. We'll see how that works out, because we still have a few drivers out on track, and quite sure a few more drivers will try to get a better time in before this session comes off to an end here. I think Wills is trying to do his hot lap here right now. We'll see how that's working out for him as he comes to the end of that. It's not going to be a purple sector 1, but let's see how the rest of his lap goes. Seems like he might be having a bit of trouble with that car. I'm not sure as yet. So Scooby, Codfish, and Moldy Goat all still in the pits. Codfish did make a time, but a 118.4. That was our slowest time on track so far. So I'm not sure if he's going to try to improve upon that or not. We'll have a look on how that works out for him. But so far so good, and we got quite a few more drivers are starting to head out on track right now, back to try and improve their time. Most of them in the 116s, and they're trying to get back out and see if they can do some sort of improvement, maybe at least improve by at least a second, get into the 115 somewhere, and try to put themselves up on a few positions at least for the race start, because they know what's going to happen when we get to that race start here on this track with the turn one as it is. It's going to be, I guess, a bit of a drag race for some of these cars getting down into turn one, and our guys out front are going to have to try to hold their positions as much as possible, which means they're going to have to be as quick as they can in terms of their race start. So Walker's out of the session there. He's good with that time. I think he just retired in the pit, so he's not going to try to improve his 115.3. I think he is hoping that holds for there. And we'll see how that's going to work out for him either way. But even though it's P3 not a bad race start here for the Spanish Grand Prix, but hopefully he doesn't get pushed down any further than that. We still do have a few drivers that are trying to improve their time right now. And Wills there just goes 120.1, so probably was hoping for a faster lap time, but we'll see how that works out. See who else currently is there. Ice Cream, where is he right now? Is he on a lap? I can't tell if he's trying to do a fast lap here or not. No, definitely we have Clarky on an outlap here right now. Is he going to make it around in time? And he has about 30 seconds or so, give or take, so I think he probably should be able to finish off sector 3 and actually get this lap started. So he's probably going to try one more lap here just to try to see if he can actually get a better start than his teammate there. So far not too bad for the grid though, what we have with their starting times. So we got quite a few 115s and 116s, so I think it's going to be an interesting start, at least for the top half of the grid. Okay, so that's it. Qualifying officially over there, and Clarky got his last lap started, so he's going to finish off that lap, and I think most of our drivers are finished with their times as it is right now. So he got up to P5 with a 115.5 so far, so that's pretty good on his end there. That's a pretty good improvement actually. So he's P5, not too bad of a start for a track like this. He'll have a good opportunity at least to maybe try and gain a position or two on the race start, depending on how it goes, on how good of a start he actually gets. So we'll see how that works out. I think we'll just follow on with Clarky here as he finishes this lap and see if he's going to be able to improve upon his 115.2 and possibly get one position up from his teammate. He just did a purple sector 2. Oh, and he just lost it there, so that's going to be it for the session for him. So he's going to have to hold on with the second place start just behind his teammate. But it's kind of going to be alongside his teammate just a little bit. So I don't think he should be too worried about that. So it looks like Dean is going to be starting on pole, because I'm trying to have a look if anyone else is currently running. I think Will's probably still on track, and Ice Cream there. I think probably just the two of them. I think Ice Cream has just finished his lap there as well. Let's have a look at Wills down here, what he's up to right now. So I think he is just finishing his lap there now as well. Not sure anyone else. Oh, Clarky is probably the only driver that needs to just retire off of the session there. He went into the pit, so I think his car will automatically just retire. And we'll get to the end of qualifying, have a look at the results, and then get straight into our race session. Okay, so qualifying results as it is. We got Dean starting on pole, and Clarky is going to start in second place just behind his teammate there. So Walker starting in third. He actually held on to that and did those lap times on the mediums as well, so quite impressive. Alex starting P4. Scotty's going to start P5. Maddie's going to start in 6th. We got Mikey starting 7th. Little Letty starting in 8th, Fat Mama starting 9th, and Johnny starting in 10th. Ice Cream is going to start in 11th. Not too bad of a start for him. Mr. Rage there in 12th, Vintage 13, Wooly starts 14, Cartridge starts 15, Will starts 16, Scooby starts 17, Dan Murphy is going to start 18, and Moldigo starts 19th, 10th there in 20th. So a few drivers did not get lap times in the qualifying session, unfortunately, but hopefully they're going to be able to make up for it on the race start that we're getting to in just a bit here. Alright guys, here we go for the race start. Hopefully no glitching on this one, and we seem to get away pretty well. Let's see if Clark gets a better run from his going down to turn 1. So far so good. I don't think we have many incidents so far. I see both Ferraris going side by side with each other, and I think everyone gets through pretty well. I think I have some minor contact though down in the midfield somewhere there. Someone to get left at the back. I think that was JK. I think he had a bit of a minor incident with someone. I'm not sure who that was with at the moment. We got Mikey very close behind Lil Letty as well here. So let's see what's happening. I think front of the grid is getting away pretty well, right about half a second at least close to that between most of the cars out front. And I see Walker is trying to keep up with Clarky there in second, at least for now. Let's see how much longer he's going to be able to do that. Going down to the back, I think Mr. Rage is trying to get by. And Codfish seems to be, well, he was ghosted for just a second. And I think he's fine right now. He's going side by side with the Red Bull though, and getting through pretty well. Something happened in Sector 2 though, because we do have a safety car for some incident with Wills. So he's out of the session already. Mikey has a penalty, I think probably for track limits. We might see a few pit stops happen. I'm not sure as yet if they've already, I think they already passed the pit entrance. So they might have to pit on this lap coming up here right now for any damage to any of the cars. Because I think we did have a bit of a minor contact between quite a few cars on opening lap for at least turns 1 to 4. So definitely we might see a few pit stops happening, and a few change of strategies might be happening there as well. Let's have a look tires at what they're at. So let's see if anyone is going to be pitting on this lap and going. So opening lap with the safety car, we'll definitely have to go at least 2 or 3 laps with this by the time they get all the debris cleared off the track, and then we can get back to racing again. Unfortunate to see Wills out of the race so quickly. Not sure who caused the incident with him, or if it was self-inflicted incident. I'm not sure as yet. We'll see how that works out later on, if anyone's going to be reported for that. Trying to have okay, anyone is glitching right now. If anybody is disconnected, seems to be okay so far. That is, this lobby worked out pretty well. Alright, so let's have a look at position changes if we can here right now. So at least top 5 cars are right where they started. So is Little Letty there, and Fat Mama and Johnny Stokes, they gain about 3 positions each. Mikey lost 2, Maddie lost 4, and Codfish, he's gained 4 positions from the race start. Mr. Reggie, he started right there in 12, Vintage started in 13, and a few changes down at the bottom. Not too bad actually. So let's see if we're going to have any pit stops happen on this lap here, as everyone's starting to get around. And race leader Dean is already into the pits there right now. Not sure if he took any damage or if he's just doing a change of strategy from now. But let's have a look at what he's going to be doing here, because we still are going to be going another lap or 2 under the safety car before we do get back racing. Okay, so he didn't take any damage, obviously, so he just changed off to a new set of tires, and he's gone onto the hards. Of course, he's going to be all the way down at the back of the grid right now. And it seems he was the only driver to actually take a pit stop. Quite surprisingly, actually, I expected quite a few more drivers down at the back of the grid to actually take a pit stop on this occasion there. Oh, and he's having some serious problems with those cold tires right now. And so he's going to have enough time to actually get back and catch up back with the grid. So I think what his strategy plan might be here is to try and go to the end of the race on that set of tires as it is. It's going to be quite a big call, because that's going to be at least 30 laps on those hard tires. I think he probably can pull it off. He's going to have to be a bit careful about how hard he's going to be pushing on those tires as well, though. So we'll see how that works. That strategy is going to work out for Dean here. But it seems like it might actually go pretty well for him. But I'm not sure, but I did expect quite a few more drivers down at the back to actually do a pit stop. I thought a few drivers probably had some damage on their cars from maybe contact from the opening lap, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. Or maybe the damage is just as minor as it is and nobody needs to really actually take a stop for it. But either way, no one else has done a pit stop under the safety car so far. Maybe they're hoping for a second safety car a little later in the race to actually save some time on their pit stop. We're not sure as yet. So either way, Clark is going to now lead the Spanish Grand Prix with Walker now running in second. Alex runs in third. And that's only with a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Temp there. And as we know, it's actually quite easy to end up hitting a car in front of you or behind you in some way when running under the safety car, because drivers are not used to being this slow on track. And we're back racing already, so into lap 4 we're back racing. Let's see how the rest of the grid is doing down at the back here as we see Alex and see what's happening here. So Alex is trying to keep up with Walker here right now. Scotty's just about a little over half a second behind. And let's see how close Alex is going to be able to get. So actually went pretty well on that restart after that safety car, so everyone has just a bit of a gap between them. I see Fat Mamba has a very close gap to himself with Codfish there in 9th, so he's going to try and break that gap down to try and get a position up if he can there right now. We'll have a look at that in just a bit, and it seems to be remaining very, very constant. Is that even a glitch in the time? Let's have a look here right now, because I don't think he can keep it. Tempt is out of the race. He's retired from the session, and that is Fat Mamba out of the race as well. That's going to be a virtual safety car for that. Did seem like that was a bit on purpose, though. I'm not sure if it was or if he just did lose control of the car that quickly. So that's going to be a VSC for at least half of a lap, and that's 2 other drivers out of the session there. So 16 remain here right now. Clark still continues to lead with Walker running second. Alex still runs in third. And a very close gap between P1 and P2 right now before we get back started here after this VSD is going to be over. And they do have to drive at about 40% less speed just to follow guidelines here. And I think we're back racing. Yep, track is green again. And they're going to continue on. Gap is just over a second between Clark and Walker now. And let's see how that's going to continue on through for most of the race. Now remember, we did have Dean do an early pit stop on that safety car on lap 2, I think it was, and he went onto the hard tires. He's now up into 12 and running. He was all the way down in 19th, up all the way into 12, and he's running again. So he's trying to fight his way back out to the front of the grid, and knows that every single car in front of him will have to do one mandatory pit stop, since it seems to be a full dry race right now. So they're going to have to do that one pit stop, and he's hoping to take advantage of that somehow with his strategy that he's trying to pull off here. We'll see if that strategy is really going to work for him or not, because if those tires start to give up close to lap 25, 26, he's going to have some problems depending on how hard he's going to have to push on them here right now. So far so good with our race leaders here. They're going pretty well. Gap is gone just under a second between Clark and Walker there right now, so that's going to continue on at least for now. We got Alex about 1.7 seconds behind Walker. He's going to have to try and catch up as much as he can. Scotty under a second behind and has some company with Johnny Stokes behind him. And that is his teammate there. So let's see how that's going to work out for Williams, because the two of them are actually running pretty close together in 4th and 5th. Not sure who's going to be the faster Williams driver, but let's see if Scott is going to be able to catch up with Alex or not, because if he's not able to, they might want to think about doing a switch over there at Williams and try having Johnny Stokes try and chase after him if Scott is unable to actually do that. But let's give him a few laps and see how that gap is working, because it's still under a second right now, but hopefully he's not losing any time. Going down to Dan Murphy there in 8th. He's getting actually pretty close to Codfish, or going on board with him here right now. And let's see what's happening. So Codfish trying to keep on the outside right now. And I think he might be lagging maybe just a little bit, which it might be a little bit frustrating on Dan's side, because that is always a bit tricky to work with when a car is lagging a bit in front of you. He seems to be okay right now on going. Gap is just about 0.3 of a second over, and that's actually pretty close. And Dan getting on the brake just a little bit quickly, and now losing a position to Wooly by trying to hold back, but just try to avoid any damage, and that was actually pretty close as well. So he gets back ahead of Wooly, goes up back into P8, and he's going to try and keep that position and try to go back after the P7 there from Codfish, and let's see if that's going to work out. Walker seems to be gaining some time out front right now. The gap is actually pretty close. Wooly is going to come back at him again, tries to take it on the inside, I think, and I don't think he's going to get that position up as yet. He does have a penalty, though, which he's going to have to figure out what to do with sometime soon. And a bit of a train coming behind Dan Murphy right now, so he's going to have to be a bit careful as they go down the stretch on the pit straight here. Let's see. He looks like he gets a pretty good run on Codfish and might get that position up. He's going to take the inside on turn 1, and looks like he might get it with a little bit of a late braking, and gets up into P7. So that puts Codfish down to 8, and Wooly's still chasing him down for that position now. So that's Dan Murphy up to P7. He's already trying to get a lead going on Codfish, already gap of a 0.8 of a second, trying to get it over a second as much as or as fast as he can there right now. And Codfish seems to be holding up Wooly a bit here, I think. So I think Wooly's going to have to try and get past as fast as he can here. And looks like Dean has gotten past his teammate J. Kelly up into 10th position right now and going. I think Renault probably did a switch on that there, so probably some teammate work from them. So allowing his teammate to go by. Probably did, I'm not sure, but his teammate should be on just a bit of fresher tires going through, so hopefully has a little more pace and is trying to push on through to the front of the grid as fast as he can there right now. Wooly still trying to get past Codfish out in front for P8, and let's have a look on how that's going. Dean creeping up on them very quickly, and he's going to be looking to get that position up as fast as he can, and that's a Renault into the wall. Both Renaults off track right now. Both of them were having a pretty good race. I think I'm not sure if Dean took damage there, but I think he did go into that wall just a bit. I think his teammate does have some damage on that car. They're missing a right end plate already on the front wing, so he has some damage. Doesn't look like Dean has any damage on his car. I think he just went off track just a bit and almost think had a bit of contact, but I think he's good to go. But he lost 2 positions there. He's gonna have to try and get that back as fast as he can here. So let's see what changed out front here at the moment. So going back out front, we got both Williams running 4th and 5th at the moment there, Scotty and Johnny Stokes, and they're still running pretty well, chasing after Alex in P3. Gap is just about half a second. I think Alex is having some trouble keeping up with Walker in 2nd, because Walker is gaining some time off of him, and actually gaining some time from Clarky there as well. Gap is about half a second, and he does have a penalty though, which we'll have a look at in just a bit. And he's getting fastest lap at the moment at 1:18.6, so not too bad for his lap time. And let's see how that's working out. And he's gotten past actually Clarky. They're still fighting for that position through turn 1. I think he got a good run down the pit straight, and yeah, so he got that position up. Still has a penalty, but that's going to be something he's going to be a little bit worried about later on, as he's getting purple sectors still at the moment going through, trying to hold the lead off from Clarky at the moment. So Clarky down to P2, led the race at least for about 7 to 8 laps there. And now we have a few pit stops happening down at the back of the grid between Codfish, Wooly, and Jay Kelly. I think probably repairing some damage on cars, or probably just taking their first pit stop. It's around lap 9 right now. And let's get on board with Clarky here right now. Let's see what this gap actually looks like on his end. And it's actually pretty close between the two of them, so these two might actually be chasing each other around the track for the entire race. And seeing that they're on the same strategy at the moment, we're going to see how that works out, because they both started the race on the mediums, and we'll see how much they're able to push before doing another pit stop. And looks like Clarky is going to get a good run on Walker. Takes the outside around turn 1, and let's see if he's going to be able to get that position up. Looks like Walker might have outbraked him just a bit and try to keep the lead. He's still going side by side with him, tries to take the inside, and looks like he got the position back. And let's see, Walker will be getting back it from him, though. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So he's going to have to settle back for a second for now and probably try that again on that pit straight. That pit straight is actually a pretty good run, getting down into turn 1 to try and get an overtake done almost on every lap, especially with a DRS advantage. So continuing on right now, so Clark takes back the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix and puts back Walker down to second. Oh, and gets a bit shaky out front. Didn't seem to lose any time though, and so we're gonna have to Walker gonna continue chasing him around. We got Johnny getting very close to Alex, and Scotty AC has gotten up into P3, so he's gotten up onto the podium. Hopefully he's able to keep that position as he continues on through. Let's have a look at what's happening here right now. Alex is actually still pretty close to Scotty for P3, but let's see if he's going to be able to get that position back or not, because he does need to try and get a good run and use some DRS advantage. Let's actually put telemetry on so we can see what's happening with the ERS right now. He got about 54% of ERS to use down the pit straight here, so quite enough to use. And let's see if he's able to get a good run and go through. Of course, he has to be worried about Scotty's teammate there, who is coming up behind him as well. And doesn't look like he gets a good enough run. We'll have to still hold on to P4 for now. And Clark and Walker gap still about half a second between the two of them. And let's go on down to 9th here with Dean now. He's gotten back all the way up into 9th and chasing down Ice Cream right now for P8. Also has Little Letty in P10 chasing him down, trying to get that position back. And let's see if that's going to work out. He is trying to get a good run on Ice Cream going down into turn 1 and takes the inside. Actually has much more pace down that straight and gets that position up into P8 right now, so he's still working his way back up. Fortunate for him, he didn't take any damage of the bit of an incident that happened earlier a few laps ago, but yeah, he's still getting back up there, back up to P8 right now, which I reckon he probably would have been probably 2 more positions up than there if that incident didn't happen earlier in the race. We still got Little Letty chasing down Ice Cream right now for this position, and let's see if he's going to be able to get that position up, as he seems to be getting very, very close to the racing point, and might actually try and get this done. Hopefully, I think the pit straight on this track is the best overtaking option that you have, unless you're actually really close to someone. And yeah, this DRS zone does actually help out a lot for cars to get close to each other, so let's see that working out. I think Ice Cream did get a bit of an advantage here as well, trying to get a bit closer to Dean during using the DRS on that stretch of the track. So let's see how the rest of it goes through. We got Scotty currently into the pits right now, so he's doing his first pit stop. Did 11 laps on the mediums there, and probably is going to go on to the hards. We'll see how that works out, unless he wants to try a 2-stop strategy, which I think most drivers might want to try the 1-stop here. We'll see how that goes. And he goes on to the hard tires, which means he's going for a 1-stop. Not going to try and do a 2-stop on this track. And we got Little Letty trying to pull off a move here, but not close enough to actually get that done. So he's going to have to hold off. Oh, and that is a racing point into the wall. I think he lost the rear coming off that turn. So Ice Cream is out of the race, and that might be hopefully just a yellow flag, hopefully not a VSC. He is a bit off track, hopefully not in the way of racing, but everything seems to be okay so far. So he's out, and that's going to put Little Letty up into 8 there now. And he's about a 1.8 second behind Dean, so let's see how that's going to work out for him. Yeah, so unfortunate for Ice Cream there, but oh, and Walker I think takes another penalty. He's into the pits right now, and Clark is going to continue to lead. Let's see what his strategy is. I think he's probably going to be doing a 1-stop here as well. Actually looks like Walker is doing a 2-stop. He just went on to a next set of medium tires, so looks like he's going to go to soft tires to go to the end of the race in another 13 laps or so. So quite an interesting strategy here. Johnny Stokes went on to the hard tires as well. He's doing a 1-stop as well. So we still have our race leader Clark there still yet to pit. We still got Alex to pit and quite a few more drivers as well. We'll see how this is going to work out in terms of race strategy here. But so we have some of the drivers that are doing 1-stops, and we got some of them are going to be doing a 2-stop here. We'll see how that works out though. But we want to see how that strategy works out for Walker, doing a 2-stop running out front. Now, seems to be doing pretty well so far. He's did his pit stop and he's out in P4 and running. But he still does have to do one more stop to get onto those soft tires. I think probably he's counting maybe on a safety car or a VSC to do that next stop. I'm not sure as yet, but he's doing purple sectors on these fresh medium tires already. So he's doing pretty well. Parking now into the pits. Let's see if he's going to be on a 1-stop or a 2-stop here. And I think he just... Was he serving a penalty? No, I don't think he was. So it looks like he's gone onto the mediums. He's doing a 2-stop as well. So they're not pushing for a 1-stop on this race with 33 laps and really not willing to take that chance. Let's see what the drivers who went onto the hards are going to be doing, because it does depend when they actually did that stop to know if they're going to be trying to do a 1-stop or a 2-stop here. So now we got Clarky back out. He's out in front of Walker, obviously, in P3 though, and Alex is now going to lead the Spanish Grand Prix. So let's have a look at what's happening up front. And we got Dan Murphy up into P2 right now. He's running 13 laps on those hard tires right now, and we're going to see how that strategy works for him. I think he started on the hards because I don't think he did any stop as yet. Let's have a look at that very quickly here. No, he did not. So only 2 drivers left to do a stop are Alex and Dan Murphy out front, running P1 and P2 in this race. So they're going to have to stop at some point. Of course, we got Dan Murphy running on hard, so he's not going to be stopping anytime soon. He can push a little further into the race before actually doing his pit stop here. And going to be quite interesting to see what strategy exactly he's planning to run here. Is he doing some sort of hard medium strategy, or is he going to really push for a hard to soft strategy? That's quite an aggressive strategy to go on, but we'll see how that works out. Alex, on the other hand, he's done 14 laps on those mediums already, and at some point he's going to have to do a pit stop here pretty soon. We'll see how that works out for him, as Clarky with his fresh mediums is getting very close and gets past Dan Murphy down into turn 1 already. Walker does have about 6 seconds of penalty, so we're going to see how that works out for him. Now let's get back on track. So Clarky up into second place back already, putting Dan Murphy down into third. So he's starting to lose some time on those tires there. He is now on the threat of losing third place to Walker, who is getting up very, very close behind him. So let's have a look on how fast Walker is going to be able to get by. And definitely by the time we get back around to that pit straight, I think that might actually happen, or it could even happen before. We'll see how close Walker is able to get. And he is going to get DRS on this portion of the track here as well, so that's going to help him get a little bit closer to Dan. And yeah, he's under some serious pressure right now. He's still keeping very close to Clarky out front, but I don't think he's going to be able to get back ahead. And we got Walker now doing purple sectors once again, so he's running pretty good laps here at the moment, and definitely looking to get up that position back onto a podium position here. We're going to switch a bit in the midfield in just a second, because I think Scott is trying to get a position up there as well, as Alex is now into the pits, and that goes where Walker goes up into second place there right now, ahead of Dan, who goes down to third. So with Alex in the pits, let's see if he's going to be pitting anytime coming soon. So Alex went on to hard tires here as well. And let's see how this continues on for him, because he seems to be doing pretty well. Because with those hards, he's definitely planning on going to the end of the race on them at this point. We're just going about halfway in the race already. So he's going to go to the end of the race on those hard tires, and that's going to be a pretty good strategy for him. We'll see how the rest of it works out, because Dan is trying to keep up with Walker as much as he can here right now, but half a second behind. Let's have a look what's happening down in midfield here right now. So we're going to keep an eye on see when Dan decides to do his pit stop. But other than that, let's see what we got happening down in midfield. Trying to look at our gaps here right now. So starting to build just a bit between drivers down in midfield. Got a few seconds between most of our drivers. We got Mr. Rage in 11. He's through, and I definitely saw some debris flying off one of these cars here right now. So Mr. Rage having a bit of an incident there with, I think that was Letty out in front of him. So he's lost a bit of front wing. Definitely going to have some trouble around this track with that there. Let's see how well he manages, or if he's going to do another pit stop or not. Yes, he is. He's getting into the pits there right now, trying to get that damage repaired. We got Codfish down at the back here. He has some trouble with Wooly chasing him down right now. So that's actually getting pretty close. Let's see how that's working out for him. And Jay Kelly as well, trying to fight it through. So right now we got Jay Kelly and Willie fighting it for P13. And we got Codfish going into the pits there at the moment. So he's doing another pit stop right now. I might have some damage. Let's see. Does he have any damage right now? Actually going quite slow into the pits. Just really trying not to exceed the speed limit, I assume. He was on hard tires. So is he doing a wing change? Actually, no. He just did a tire change. Went on to medium tires. So a bit of a strange strategy. I think, I'm not sure. Let's see how that's working out. Let's get back to Wooly out here chasing now Jake Kelly for P11 right now, as it is, and I think the gap was a bit closer before Carfish decided to do that pit stop there. But so far so good between the two of them. They've gotten up a position each there because Carfish did that pit stop, and let's see how these two continue on. It doesn't really have any ERS to use, so he's using as whatever he can right now along with the DRS advantage, trying to keep up with Jake Kelly there in 11th. We got Walker out in 2nd place in the race right now. Well, 6 seconds of penalties I think he does have, and he's trying to keep his gap as close as possible with the Clarky there. Of course, he still does have Dan Murphy 1.6 seconds behind him. Does have to do a pit stop, and that's going to put Alex back into 3rd when that does happen, and he's going to still be about 11 seconds behind. So a bit of a gap he has to work with there, and we'll see how well that pays off for him when we get to the end of the race. We got a bit of battle going on between Jake Kelly and Wooly here, as Wooly's going to try and take the inside on turn 1 here, and let's see if he gets that position up, and looks like he actually got it done, and so he's up into 11. That's Jake Kelly down to 12 now, and both of them do have penalties. We'll have a look again at penalties in just a bit. And on a track like this, it is a bit hard to avoid these penalties sometimes. And let's see what's happening out front right now with Walker and Clarky here. I think they're two of them going through turn 1. Yes, they are. So that's Walker getting a good run going down, and he gets up into P1 once again. Let's see for how long he's going to be able to hold on to that lead, as Clarky is already looking to getting back his position here. And he's keeping actually pretty close to him, so I think this might happen even before we get back around to that pit straight. But let's see if Walker is able to hold on, and getting a bit onto the grass as well, probably trying to block a few side of Clark there just a bit, maybe just blind him off just a bit, just hoping that he makes some sort of mistake and leave him some room to get up ahead. So Clark is still in that DRS range, does have that advantage to work with, and not too much ERS. Let's see how much we got. Walker with a lot more ERS actually, so he might have to use that to his advantage to try and keep a gap between himself and Clarky, and hopefully he's able to get him out of that DRS range, because that gap is starting to go up just a little bit here right now, but it's going to come back down again once we get around to that pit straight, because it does give the driver with the DRS advantage quite a good run getting down into turn 1. And let's see how that's going to go here right now, getting on board with Clarky, and he is getting quite a good run using the DRS advantage, not even using his ERS, and Walker does try to block him off. He has to take the outside and go defensive on it, but not able to get up ahead into P1. So that's actually a good defensive move off of Walker there, trying to hold off the race lead at the moment. Well, Clarky is still actually pretty close behind him, though, but might still be able to get this position back. So he's going to have to do this for at least 13 and a half more laps if he really wants to keep the lead of the race there. And we got both of them did do stop onto medium tires. They started the race on mediums, which means both of them will have to do one more stop in this race, and we're gonna see how that strategy works out for them, because they might be losing the race lead when they do that stop. Of course, they're gonna be going on soft tires and might actually try to get the position back up very quickly, but we'll see how the strategy is working out, because they have to do 2 different tire compounds for a dry race, and they've only done 1 so far. Both of them have started on mediums and gone back to mediums. We'll see how that strategy is going to work. Yep, just confirming that as it was. So Dan Murphy finally did his pit stop there. He is currently out into 5th place, and we got Clarky trying to go on Walker here again. Doesn't look like he gets a good enough run though, and Walker is able to keep the position, keep the lead of the race, and he's going to continue on through lap 21 right now as we're going there. So he's going to hold on to that lead at least for now, and Clark is still trying to get as close as him as he can right now. He's going to need to keep that gap under at least 0.2 of a second by the time they get around to the pit straight to try and get a good run. I think they're starting to come into a bit of traffic here right now with the back markers, and so hopefully those will get out of the way so that not to affect the race here. Yeah, but yeah, Walker is starting to get into a bit of traffic out front. So that clean air advantage might be going away just a little bit for him. But let's see how that works out as Clark is going to continue chasing him around. Scott is getting very, very close to Dean there for 6th place. We're seeing how that works. He is now on the fresher tires compared to the two of them actually. So let's see what's happening here. And we're still trying to follow on out front with Walker and Clark to see what's happening between the two of them here right now. Scotty getting into a bit of traffic here as well. I think that Scottfish there getting in the middle of the two of them. And let's see what's happening out front here right now. So these two still fighting it out for the lead of the race. Actually still pretty close. I think Clarky almost had him going through turn 1 there, but unfortunately I still had to hold back for P2. Walker doing some ready defending out front, and I think they're going side by side just a bit here. And yeah, Clarky still has to hold it back in 2nd right now. He's not able to get it. They're still fighting through. So turn by turn, they're still going side by side, and Walker seems to have the better advantage getting off of the turn exits here right now. Let's have a look on board and what's happening. ELR Vantage trying to get out of the way and let these two get by. And we have a safety car right now, so that's going to put a pause on this battle. Codfish is out of the session, and I think that happened there in Sector 3. So let's see if we can have a look right now. And there is this car on the left side of the track. And that might actually trigger a few pit stops. So that's going to put a pause between the battle between Walker and Clocky for the lead of the race here right now. Let's see what's happening out front. So gaps are going to start to get just a little bit closer between drivers as everyone's going to try and catch up as much as they can. And I think we might have a few pit stops happen as we're seeing down at the back of the grid there right now. And Clarky and Walker both are into the pits right now. I think they were waiting for something like this to happen. So I think both of them are about to go onto the soft tires to go to the end of the race. So it should be quite interesting with the two of them here. I don't think Alex has pitted. Where is he on track? Oh, he's coming into the pits as well. And so is Johnny Stokes. Everyone probably wanting to get into the pits right now. Let's see if Dan Murphy is going to pit here though. And he's going in as well. This was an opportunity for him to take over the lead of the race. Of course, he's going to come under some serious pressure, though, with everyone behind him being on the soft tires. And he knows that's what the strategy is going to be, what's going to happen. And looks like Dean did not pit. And he's running on 19 laps on those hard tires here right now. So he's out, still running. And we got Walker out. The Biz Clark is out in second. Walker running, leading the race still. And Dean out in P3. How many stops has he done so far? Let's have a look here. So Dean has done 1 stop so far. He went on to the hard tires. Is he really going to be pushing to the end of the race on those hards? And how much of an advantage is it going to be? Because he does have cars behind him on fresher tires. And Alex went on to a new set of mediums. Johnny's on a new set of softs. So is Dan Murphy and Scotty as well. And it's going to be a bit interesting to see how the restart on this race is going to go after the safety car goes in. It's going to leave us with probably about 78 laps of racing. But it's going to be quite an interesting 78 laps because I know Walker and Clark are going to be fighting it out for the race lead out front, but Dean is going to be under some serious pressure from at least 5 to 6 cars behind of him, all being on very, very fresh tires and very faster tires. So his tires are actually almost to the end there. I'm not sure how much percentage that's showing on him, but yeah, he's going to have to be very, very careful with the strategy here right now. If he does take a pit stop at this point, he will lose quite a lot more position, which I don't think he's going to try and do that. He's going to try and keep the position at least for the few more laps that are left in the race, and hopefully he's able to keep a podium place before we get to the race finish. I think he probably knows about the penalties that Walker and Clarky has there. Let's have a look at the penalties at the moment. So Walker has 6 seconds of penalties, Clarky has 3 seconds. That's going to be a switch between the two of them if the race does end off with Walker throwing across the line P1. He's going to have to finish down in P2. Of course, this all is going to be a bit dependent on how close Dean is able to keep to them as they go to the end of the race. And then let's see who else has penalty. Miguel Woolley has a drive-through penalty to serve. I think he's probably speeding in the pit lane or speeding under the safety car, I'm not sure, but he's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty in the next 3 laps after the safety car goes in. He's not going to be able to do that right now, so that's going to kind of hurt his race a bit. and that's going to probably put him down into 14th position. And not sure if he's going to be able to get back up. We'll see how that works out. But then Mr. Rate and Jay Kelly 3 seconds each, and Johnny Stokes and Scotty 3 seconds each as well. That's going to give Dan Murphy a bit of an advantage being in between the two Williams there, and we'll see how that strategy works for him going through. So we think who else? We got Vintage on old tires as well. He's on 15 laps on those tires already, which he's trying to keep himself in the top 10 at least here right now. So we get at least half of the grid, we'll say, that's left remaining. Half penalties here right now, somewhere around half, and we'll see how that goes. So 19 drivers started this race. We got just 14 remaining at the moment. Hopefully all 14 will be able to go to the end of the race, and we're following on with Walker continuing out front. We still got a few more drivers to catch up before we get back racing here. I think they're catching up pretty quickly there, as from what we can see on track. I don't think they're too far off, and I think we're going one more lap under the safety car before we go back racing here, because C. Walker is actually pretty close to the safety car still. So looks like we're going to have to go one more lap, and we're going to get back racing at the end of lap 25, getting into lap 26. And the race is going to come to an end pretty quickly after that does happen there. So we're going to have to just hold on for that for just a bit. Let's have a look at who might be getting driver of the day here. So most positions gained in this race so far looks like it's Dan Murphy there in P6. So not too bad. He started 11 positions down from where he is right now. That's probably somewhere around maybe 16th, 17th is where he started. I think 17th is where he started in the race. And he's done 2 stops. He's on a soft set of tires running, and that's a fresh set of softs. So he stands a pretty good chance of actually even getting up a position more if he can actually get past Johnny Stokes for P5. We'll see how that works. But remember, Johnny does have that penalty, so all he needs to actually do here is just keep as close as he can to Johnny Stokes, and he's going to be able to get the position up when they do get across the line, because Johnny does have a 3-second penalty to work with. So we'll see how that works out though. But he's looking pretty good at getting P5 here right now. Not sure about P4, but Dean looking like he's going to be under some serious pressure. So we'll see how this entire strategy works out for him and for the rest of the grid as we're about to get back racing pretty soon. Let's see, we should have that notification from race control by the time we get into sector 3 here, and we should be going back racing on this lap. I think we're about to get to that point of entry, and yeah, there we have it. So race control is confirming we're going to go back racing at the end of this lap. I think a few cars are still yet to catch up to the safety car queue. I think they were just allowed to go by and now go around, so I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, that was just a safety car going ahead there. So yeah, a lot of weaving going to be going around on track here right now. Everyone just trying to get the tires back up to temperature and make sure everything's good before they get back to the restart here right now. And it's a pretty close gap between most of our drivers here right now. We'll see how well it's going to be between Walker and Clarky going down into turn 1, as I think Walker's going to try and get the best possible start out. Let's have a look from this perspective, and he gets a pretty good start getting around the final chicane and gets back on the pit straight, and that's going to try and give him a bit of an advantage. Dean is already falling back just a bit. Alex trying to get ahead going down the pit straight there as well already. So quite a few position changes might be happening as we go on down here, and he seems to be trying to fight to keep P3 right now, but loses it to Alex, who goes up to P3, and he's down quite a few positions actually. I think he might have some serious problems. He might be all the way down at the back at the moment. I'm not sure how much contact he actually had with anyone else, but doesn't seem to be going too well for him right now. He might be rethinking not doing that pit stop there. Right, let's see what's happening here. So we got Wooly trying to get past Vintage here right now. He gets up into P8, and that puts Vintage down to 9th. We got Walker still leading the race out front, and I think quite a close gap between him and Clark. Let's have a look what's happening with him here, because Clark might be trying to get by. He seems to be doing purple sectors already, so he's definitely looking to get by Walker on this occasion here. We got just about 7 laps more to go. So we got another safety car. Something else has happened on track, and I'm not even sure what that is right now. And a 5-second penalty for Vintage colliding with Mr. Rage, and that's happened down at the back here in the 9th and 10th apparently. So I'm not sure if that's the incident that's caused the safety car here. Now this is not going to go off too well between quite a few drivers here, because this is going to mean much less laps of racing here if we have to go under the safety car once again. And where is Dean on track right now? Did he have damage to that car? Yes, he did, and he's getting into the pits right now. So he's going to be changing off to a fresh set of soft tires. Now I'm going on, and let's see what's happening out front. So far so good on Walker's, and he's able to keep the lead so far going into the race on that restart. Unfortunate for Clarky, there's another safety car, so he's gonna trying to get away with the lead of the race, but he's going to keep as close to Walker as he can as we continue on through under the safety car. Hopefully this safety car doesn't last too long. I would have probably a VSC on this incident. I'm not sure why we had a safety car there, but I think there was some sort of contact on the back, as we also have Johnny Stokes and Scotty into the pits. I'm not sure if they had any damage, that's why they did that pit stop there, I'm not sure, but they were both into the pit. So Williams not having a good day there, and Renault as well not having a good day, because they're all down out of the top 10 right now and running, and no, both Williams were running actually pretty high up in the points before we did get back started with this. So let's see how the race does finish with 14 drivers just remaining in it, and let's see what happened here. So Alex in P3 right now, he got up that position, and he's going to try and hold that, I think, going to the end of the race. We're on lap 27 right now and going. I'm waiting to see when we're going to get back racing here, because I'm not 100% sure on that as yet. I think that a lot of drivers are going to be a bit annoyed by this safety car and what exactly caused this one, because we're not exactly sure what's caused this safety car to happen. I see we got Jay Kelly into the pits there as well, so he's going to be changing off to a new set of tires. Probably has some damage on the car, I'm not sure. Currently in the lap 28 right now running. Not a lot of laps left in this race. It's just about 5.5 laps left to go, and hopefully we get back racing by the end of lap 28 here, so we can have at least 4 to 4.5 laps of racing to look forward to. And we'll give drivers a chance to try and get a position up or two if they can. Yeah, we still have Walker and Clarky leading P1, P2. Alex in P3 right now. He's going to try and keep his gap as close as he can, because he's going to be actually know about the penalties Clarky has. Might not know about Walker's penalty, but you will know about the penalty that Clarky has. So you'll try to keep within that 3-second range going down to the end of the race, and hopefully is able to get up a position there or not. Even let's see how that works out. What's happening out front? I think I just saw a switch between these two, but yeah, they seem to be fine so far. Alright, so I think our marshals have already cleared off all the debris, because we're going to go back racing at the end of this lap. So that's going to mean at least 4 to 5 laps of racing still left to go here. I think that's quite enough laps to work with for drivers to try and get up positions as much as they can. Let's see how well this restart is going to go on this occasion. And I see Clark is trying to keep as close as he can right now to Walker there. I think he might even try to get up alongside him as he's trying to push on through at the moment. And Walker definitely is going to try and get a good start once again. Let's see if he actually gets it on this go. And they're just about to get started here right now. Walker just putting a delay on that. And there they go, they're off now. We got Clark using all of his overtake right now, trying to keep up with Walker through that pit straight as they continue on through. I think Dan Murphy gets a better go than Alex, and might try to get him on the outside of turn 1. Both Ferraris coming down behind each other there as well, as you can see down at the back. Let's see how that works out. So Walker still holds on to the lead going through. Alex down into P4. Dan Murphy gets up a position onto the podium, and he's going to be pretty happy about that. Alex takes a penalty as well, so that's not going to work too well for him there. And let's see what's happening with the two Ferraris here. They're running just behind each other. Little Letty trying to get up into P5 right now, ahead of that Mercedes, and doesn't look like it's happening at the moment. Oh, and a bit of mistake on Mikey's end, so he gets up the position into P5. His teammate coming just behind there. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that position up as well. Actually, they're still battling it out, so it looks like Mikey gets the position back now from Little Lefty, and back up into P5 he goes. So gap still pretty close between them. Walker still continuing to lead out front. We're trying to keep an eye on that, see if that's going to change at any point. And a bit of a train coming behind Mikey here. So he's under a bit of pressure right now. We got another safety car. What's happening on track right now? Are we having some sort of glitch that's causing the safety cars to happen at a certain point? Because I don't see another driver out. I know someone's in the pits right now, I think. Oh no, that's the safety car getting out of the pits right now. So we might be finishing this race under a safety car, as it seems right now with what's happening on track. It does seem very much like it's some sort of glitch happening that's causing a safety car every time we get around to this point. So that's going to put a pause once again on all of the racing happening on track. And this is just a bit strange and just a bit annoying right now. Alright, so I really can't be sure what's happening, if it's a glitch or if it's something happening on track that's causing the safety car to happen. But either way, we're under another safety car and going through, and we might have to just finish the race under a safety car if it comes down to it, because that's still going to go on at least for a lap or two. And we might have just maybe 1 or 1 to 2 laps of racing left. We'll see how much we're going to have when we go on through here. Well, I have to say probably one of the strangest races we've ever had. We had to do at least about 3 seem to be having a safety car every 2 laps coming out to the end of the race for no apparent reason. Unless it's something I'm not seeing happening, because I don't see any other driver out. I don't see any incident really happening. I know Johnny Stokes was a bit back. I know he did do another pit stop. I'm not sure what happened with that. But probably some debris on track somewhere that caused that to happen, I'm not sure. But it does seem like Walker and Clark are still having some racing going on between the two of them, as we can see what's happening right now. I think they're trying to raise a safety car. I think they're just having some fun out front, I'm not sure. Hopefully they don't take a penalty just trying to do that. And hopefully they don't hit into that safety car, because that's going to be another penalty in place for them there. They already have 6 second and 3 second each, I think, to deal with between the two of them. Let's have a look at that once again. I'll probably leave it on that as we go on through, and we got Woody still with a drive-through penalty to deal with here. So that's going to hurt him quite a bit. He's going to fall out of the top 10 while doing a drive-through penalty. I don't think he's going to even get a chance to even do that here right now, because he might have to do that on the very last lap of the race, if possible at all. We'll see how that works out. So right now Walker has 6 seconds of penalties. Clarky now has 8 seconds of penalties to work with. So it looks like Walker might be keeping his race win. Of course, Dan Murphy now running in turn. Looks like he might be getting he might be getting P1 if he can keep it close enough to Walker and Clarky out front. And I don't think that's going to be too hard for him. He just needs to keep within a 3-second range of Walker actually. So let's see if he's able to do that. And safety car is going to be in on this lap, so we're going to have lap 32 and 33 on racing to go here. So 2 laps of racing left. Might even get a safety car in the very last lap. Let's have a look on that. That's going to work out. And 5 seconds for Alex. So Dan Murphy looking pretty good of getting pole position for this race if he plays it right here, right now. He just needs to avoid any penalties, because Walker has 6 seconds and Clarky has 8 seconds, so that's not going to work too well for the two of them. So a bit of he has some time to work with, so he just needs to keep as close as he can to Clarky here, and hope that Clarky is able to keep up with Walker, which I think that's not going to be too much trouble for him. Let's see how that's going to work out here, because I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes. I'll go on board with Clarky once again and watch as Walker goes off, and he's just waiting. I think he's off there now. And once again, Clark is going to use all of his overtake and try to get a good run on Walker going down into turn 1. Losing a few tenths already to Dan Murphy down behind. Alex is trying to keep up with him. Someone getting off track just a little bit down at the back there. And that's a little dirty with a 3-second penalty. Might have, oh, and Wooly is disqualified from the session, not doing his drive-through penalty. We're not able to do the drive-through penalty. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think a Ferrari is off. That's a little dirty is off of track there right now. So he had a bit of a contact with someone on that restart clock. He's getting very, very close actually to Walker here. And on lap 32, so he's going to be pushing as much as he can to try and get up ahead. Dan Murphy falling back at least by a second here. So he needs to keep that gap as close as he can for the next lap and a half, at least if he wants to get a podium finish here. He's not going to be crossing the line P1, but he might be getting it on the technicality of penalties here. But let's see how that works out for him. Either way, I think a pole position is a pole position here. So if he's looking to get that, he might actually get it if he keep the gap close enough. And these two are fighting it out pretty hard, so they might even might actually get more penalties before the race actually finishes. So let's see what's going to happen with that. Gap is very close, as close as it can be right now. And let's see how good of a run Clark is getting on this run. I don't think he has the advantage of too much overtake to use. Yes, has a little bit, but he's using as much as he can. Walker using all of his overtake right now, trying to keep the lead on this lap, as he knows that's the point where Clark is able to get him on that run down into turn 1, and he's held off the lead so far going. Mr. Ray gets up a position on Scotty there, who's up down into 9th now. Sorry, Mr. Ray up into 8th. So gap still about 1.1 second between Clark and Dan Murphy. So he's able to keep that gap within his 3-second range, which is one of the most important things he can do right now to try and keep it there, to try and get a race win here. Alex, on the other hand, with 8 seconds of penalties, he's going to be losing positions as well. That's going to put Mikey up a few positions. And looks like Johnny so got a drive-through penalty as well. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for him. Vintage with a 10-second penalty. So just 3 drivers in the race right now with no penalties, and we're on the final lap of the race right now and going through. And looks like Walker is going to be able to cross the line in P1. And that's Johnny Stokes, another 3-second penalty there right now. That's going to be adding up quite a bit. It's going to be quite a weird finish. Let's see how this goes through. It looks like Dan Murphy might be getting a race win here. Just on a bit of a technicality though, but we're going to have Walker go across the line P1. Looks like Clark is about to go across the line P2, and Dan Murphy will be going across the line P3, but taking away P1 from him. That did happen. So Alex goes across and will be switching it up a bit as well, as he goes all the way down to 7. So Maddie takes P4, Clarky goes down to P5 now, Mikey takes 2nd, Jake Kelly takes 6. So quite a bit of a mix-up because of the amount of penalties that we did have on that session. We're going to have to wait until our final results come up. And driver of the day does go to Dan Murphy, and also takes pole position. So not a bad race for him here. And he started way down at the back of the grid. And so let's have a look at that results here right now before we close out the session. Alright, good. So he started 17th on the grid and finished on pole. So that's quite a good accomplishment for him for this race here. So pole position goes to Dan Murphy, as well as driver of the day. Mikey takes 2nd place in this race, and he started in 7. Walker is going to take P3. Still finishes on the podium and gets fastest lap in the session, 1:16.7. Not too bad. Maddie takes P4. Clarky takes P5, Jake Kelly takes 6, Alex takes 7, Mr. H takes 8, Scotty takes 9, Lilletty takes 10, Dean takes 11, Vintage takes 12, Johnny Stokes takes 13, Codfish 14, Ice went 15, Fat Mama went 16, Temp went 17, and Wills 18. Wooly there in 19. He was, I think, disqualified from the race for not doing the drive-through penalty. I think that was, and I think Wills was out on lap 1. Overall, was actually a pretty interesting race and a weird bit of a session in some ways, more than other. But either way, thank you guys for joining on. Please do leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new onto the channel.